Hello, I'm Coach Heidi. If you're watching this video, then you are being referred by someone that values you as a dentist. Therefore, I'm offering you a free phone call from me personally to help you improve your workday. I want to make sure you get help right then and there. We can evaluate your scheduled patients, lack thereof, just your next work, the next day at work. I bet you're wondering why I would help you. Well, give me about 8 minutes and I will explain and tell you about me and my giving heart towards those that love dentistry, but not the uncertainty. If not, then go ahead, fast forward to the end, and you can just write down my email address and schedule with me. Well, I was born and raised in the Bay Area, Union City, California. I grew up in the same house 21 years, and oh yeah, saw the same dentist too. After I turned 18, I had a dental checkup, and before the exam, my dentist asked me, what are you planning on doing as an adult? I remember smiling and saying, I was thinking about becoming a dentist. He proudly looked down at me and said, let me show you what I wrote in your chart when you were 4 years old. I looked down at his paper notes, and there it was. She wants to be a dentist. So he looked down at me like a wise man would and said, Heidi, by the time you pay off all those school loans, a plumber would make more than a dentist. But I have to tell you, I am kicking myself now for not pursuing that goal. Dentistry today has more opportunity than ever before. You see, during my early childhood, compared to my friends, I grew up in poverty. I learned to appreciate a new pair of shoes, enough wood to keep only part of the house warm. I had to learn to appreciate many things that are taken for granted, but are necessities in everyday life. My dad taught me how to work hard, budget, be a woman of my word, have faith, and serve others. He ensured me that when you learn these valuable skills, you'll succeed in everything you do. By the time I was 18, my parents were considered middle class, which for me meant I was unable to receive any college grants. I was the first child that wanted to go to college, but my dad said that he didn't have any funds set aside. He told me if you want to further your education, then you better pay for it yourself. This taught me the value of a dollar well spent can create a lifetime of wise and profitable investments. Being that I already had to buy my own clothes, pay vehicle expenses, and other necessities, I didn't have much left over. In 1988, I decided to go to get a small loan and go to Bryman, dental assisting school in San Francisco. I happened to land an amazing job in the Bay Area for a cosmetic dentist who graduated #1 at UCLA. He's now an international lecturer for dentists and published books. But he was amazing, and all the staff were very bright. Always had continuous teaching and leadership that we were working on as a team. But our office was different. It was a front deskless office, meaning the patients just waved through a saltwater fish tank to let the office manager know that we are our patients here. So as of today, this office still is the most efficient system-oriented office I've ever worked for. Working there taught me how to effectively assist a dentist, which for my personal goal, it was to hand them the instruments before he needed to ask for it. But not having a receptionist to bring the patients to made me fully understand the duties of a receptionist. Because I was assisting, going over treatment plans, options, scheduling their next appointment, quoting estimated portions, walking them from the front door all the way out. I hand wrote in my charts. Yep, those fill-in blank template stamps were not even used yet. Sterilizing instruments, working my duties to maintain the office, handling inventory, keeping the hygiene and doctor's schedule full. I'm not saying that a dentist doesn't need a receptionist at all, but I am just explaining what I did back in the day. A bit later, I moved to a small town of Newberg, Oregon. And I had a few offices that wanted to hire me, but I chose the old school type of office with a paper scheduling book. I chose it because it was close to home and the dentist and staff had been there a long time. So they made me the office manager and we worked as a team. We were able to turn that old-fashioned dental office into a growing, efficient, fun, profitable practice. 5 years later, another opportunity had opened up for me, and I took it. But 1 year later, he needed to help his family and had to move out of state. So instead of seeing who's hiring dental personnel, I decided to research which dentist I wanted to work for. Over the years and getting to know the other offices, I decided to call a few of them and ask if I could meet them at the office. They met me there and we talked, and I said, hey, can I see one of your lab cases? So I looked at the impression of a crown prep. I looked at the margins and just evaluated, did they use retraction cord? Were they conservative to the tooth, the tooth structure, and how was the line of draw? See, to me, the patient would never see this, and I thought a dentist with a good prep that no one sees but the lab has a lot of integrity. So I was impressed with one particular dentist and asked if I could work for her. And she said she didn't have any position open, but she did have a few things for me to evaluate in the office. So I evaluated them and said, there are some system errors and some computer issues, and I think I can fix it in a couple days. So I did that, and she ended up keeping me full-time for 13 more years. My motivation and my work ethic stemmed from my dad. You see, he worked at a car manufacturing plant, and he was always coming home with really excited with all his ideas on improving safety and more efficient ways to run robotic paint departments. So he received many awards for these simple fixes, so I kind of think that's where I get my creativity from. And he worked at General Motors, which became New United Motors manufacturing company. So a Japanese-led company taught them the word Kaizen, which means constant improvement. So here we all are. We all want to improve our lives in some way, shape, or form. After 67 years, NUMMI, a 5 million square foot car manufacturing plant with one of the world's most advanced automotive factories in the world, had shut down in 2010. Is it because my dad retired from there in 2009? Well, he would like us all to think so. But like many businesses, no matter how much technology, how hard you work, they won't succeed without a viable plan or strategy. You see, my hardworking dad finally retired at 65 years old. But he worked so hard to provide for his family that he actually died 2 years later. He struggled from liver and kidney failure, and prior to that, I was constantly telling him, don't work so hard, protect your stomach and your heart muscles. But I lost my best friend over his desire to provide for his family. Through all this, I learned that the choice of working long, hard hours could actually cause so much damage to our health. It's not about working more hours or working faster. It's about constant improvement in health and wellness for your patients. I'm sure you've heard people say if what you're doing is not working, then it's time to change what you're doing. After 26 years of experience of working in the dental field, I would like to tell you that running a dental practice does not need to be stressful, and I would love to help you. You may not be able to predict the exact moment when a business will decline or plateau, but I truly believe that there are more opportunities in being a dentist right now than ever before. You do not need to be everything to everyone to enjoy dentistry. There are simple, effective ways to have a successful practice, and you are the one who defines your success. I believe your friends and family would enjoy the memories of being with you and knowing that you enjoyed your career. So let's work smart and use the philosophy of constant improvement, and let me give you some great information. All you need to do is email me at coachheidimount@gmail.com. I'm giving you a 30-minute consultation on how to improve your production for your next scheduled work day or any day of your choice. Whether this day is chaotic, very low production, lots of holes in the schedule, I would love to give you information as my gift. You may also email me if you have specific concerns or questions, or you just want to tell me what worked well in your practice. Being a dentist doesn't need to be difficult. It's time to do what's best for you, doctor. And let's take care of you and your health. Thank you.